Hello, I wanted to share something quick about three important money numbers. Well, sometimes you can see some people are very good with numbers versus others. So maybe you can gauge by yourself by looking at all these numbers. I want to share three numbers that are very important. You can keep track of them. If you haven't, this may be a good starting point to just recollect or see where you are. Now, obviously, some people are very good with numbers or Excel sheets, number crunching, and they may be able to keep track, but others may not be so much. So it's good to kind of have an idea and keep track where you stand because it's never a constant. Numbers always change up and down depending on your situation, your financial life, and the decisions you make. So with that, it depends exactly on your situation because sometimes the numbers are always going up and down depending on how you are living your life. Okay, so the three important numbers are, number one is emergency fund, that is your cash. So whatever cash you have in your bank or any cash that you have that is liquid, like immediate, you can use it, that's your emergency fund. So if you didn't pay attention to see your accounts or what you have, maybe it's good to take a look at it. So have an idea like this is what you have for emergency instead of going to the credit and paying low interest. It's good to have some emergency fund for yourself. Whatever you capable of, depending on the situation. So have an idea about the emergency fund and do keep track of some of that. Number two is net income. That is your savings, net savings, not just your income. Like because whatever income you have, expenses and all these extra bills. So when you deduct all your outgoing from incoming, like income to outgoing, then you get net income. That is your savings after all expenses. So whatever is left over, hopefully you're having some left over. So if you are not tracking it, take a look at it and calculate. Just look at all your income. If you only have paycheck, it's pretty straightforward. Look at all your expenses, your bills and everything, and then see what's left over. That's your net income and net savings. So if you are self-employed or you run a business, you probably have a lot of numbers to crunch. You're always changing, so you probably want to track it. And number three is net worth. Number is net worth. That is your assets minus liabilities. So if you have just a job, then it's probably straightforward, just calculating it. But let's say you do have some assets like a home or some car or other things. You may have to track it and look at all the numbers. What are your assets, like what you own versus what your liabilities, like what you owe to others, your loans, debts, all those things that you owe to others. Now, we see something changes over a period of time because it's about you, how you are living your life and how you're dealing with the situations and your decisions, what you make. So keep track of this over a period of time and you can see how it's performing or how you are, where you are. Now, I want to give one more extra number that is very useful if you're able to make it work depending on the situation. That is return on investments, ROI. That is whatever number two, the savings you have. So what is left over, if you're putting it away for investment, you can see where it is, like how it's doing, what return you're getting, and it actually ties to assets, the other number. But in reality, it's a way to look at this. This is another number. Just look at it to your assets. So ROI is basically return on investment, and by keeping track of it, you can also see how your assets are performing for your ROI, and also you can manage it depending on the situation where you are. So those are the numbers: emergency fund, net income, net worth, and an extra number, ROI, return on investment. So if you can keep track of these numbers and kind of have an idea, it gives a really good picture, clear picture of where you are, and also where you want to go. It can help you and have more clarity.